Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swaglock, and with me today, as always, we have the one, well, there's more. Actually, if you look it up on Raider.io, you have to type in some special characters. But if you were to do that, one, the only Death Knight, spelled as chicken with some special letters, on the Storm Rage servers that plays a gnome, we have Chicken. What's up, Chicken?
Dude, that's the worst. Like, I wish one day I hope they just like do like a name reset. Just like every name is just like
freed up.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what you could do? You know what you could do? And this is what actually Oreo was the one who told me they were doing this. Because they have the name Vulpix. I don't know if you're in the guild neighborhood, not guild, in the podcast neighborhood, you'll see a Vulpix house, right?
Really?
And I was like, dude, how'd you get the name Vulpix? And they're like, I've just started making characters on like dead servers, so I can get whatever name I want. And
then she just server transfers them.
Yeah, well, no. So she just makes it on that server, and it stays on that server. But just pretty much everything's cross-server these days, right?
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I ran into recently was I was trying to do the transmog contest thing on but that was cross-faction. That wasn't even a cross-server issue. That was a cross-faction issue. So yeah, dude, there's like, I don't know, so it doesn't even matter, right? Like, what does it even matter? The auction house, I guess, right? The auction house matters, but even then you could buy what you want on another character if the prices are better, and then just mail it to yourself.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say on a dead server, the prices are probably maybe. Like, it's probably hit or miss. Some things are probably cheaper.
Do you think there's some dude out there with like, I guess you couldn't do it with 2 WoW accounts because you're no, you could. You could technically. Do you think there's somebody like out there sitting there with like 2 WoW accounts open on the computer, running like add-ons to track everything, and they're just like checking the auction houses on different servers to see what sells for what where, and then they're just buying it up and then mailing it over to another server to resell on their auction house?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, there's people like that. 100%,
dude.
Dude, it's like, I forget what the site is, but there's like basically like an auction house like site similar to like stock market, just like your standard, like you go and you check like the spot price on any stock, right? And it shows you like the graph of like a day, a week, and an hour, even, like, things like that. I forget what the site is called right now. It's blanking me. But dude, that site exists, and it's like, dang, like, I was trying to play that game for a while, but it's not easy. It's hard.
Dude, the Auction House Mafia, bro, those players, that is a game I have no interest in, right? Like, I could not do that, dude. I could not do that. If I'm going to do that, let me go do it with the stock market, Like, at that point, I might as well do it with real life things.
might as well just blow my real life money.
Yeah, might as well just do that, right? Like, might as well use real life money, but it is cool though to see, like just how far people go. But anyways, I'll just say everything is cross server pretty much. So yeah, I mean, it's honestly, dude, that's good tech, bro. That's good tech. The idea of like, oh yeah, I just make this character on like Dark Iron, right, and then get whatever name I want.
Yeah, hopefully we get big enough one day that Blizzard will just let us choose the name that we want.
I think every expansion, when the expansion comes out, they clear out unused names from like that haven't been used in like 4 expansions or something. There's a time period to it, yeah. Because I check every once in a while for the name Swaglock for a Warlock, and still not available on Storm Rage. But it doesn't even matter because I can just make it on whatever. Yeah,
honestly,
that's a common misconception, by the way, for our newer listeners. I don't play a Warlock. In the back of my head, it would be cool to play a Warlock. A Warlock was actually my first character ever made in WoW. Was an undead Warlock. I made like 7 of them on trial accounts back when trial accounts were limited time. However, I never really stuck with it, and the name Swaglock has nothing to do with Warlocks. It's coincidental.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And by the way, if you listen to the podcast, if you listen to at least 7 episodes in a row, it has to be 7 consecutive episodes in a row. But if you do that, you actually gain the ability to just call me Swag instead of Swaglock.
Dude, last week when you were really tired, I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna say, let me do the intro, and I'll be like, oh, I have someone, like a special guest with me. the one and only Swaglock, because I don't think I've ever called you that, like ever.
No. I do because
But
it's like the branding on like all my content's been there forever. Might as well keep it. It was the branding I used when I started up Fortnite content, right? So like it wasn't even WoW related at that time. The lore behind that. But you know what? One day I need to get good. By the way, I've been getting slightly good at Elemental Shaman recently.
there you go.
Yeah, which for our long time listeners, you know that's a big deal. Swag is is a notoriously bad DPS player. So
I would say you're bad. You just don't do it.
You don't do it, right? So
I'm bad at playing the guitar because I don't play the guitar.
That's true.
I'm sure I could be good if I practiced.
That's true. By the way, I got
the guitar.
I got a guitar pedal
just
for you to
never
look at, maybe
DPS,
fix for
dude,
me at some
ever.
point. Yeah, dude, it's I just never DPS. But you know what though? I kind of this expansion, I'm kind of itching to at least be able to pretend like I can DPS, right? And so I want to do a little bit. I don't have any goal in terms of an achievement or something. Maybe later in the season, it'll be like, yo, I want to get a pure DPS character to KSM. Something stupid, simple, right?
Oh, dude, that's easy.
Oh, that's
bro.
so.
You can do that.
I know it's easy, but it would have to be like a no carry. Does that make sense? Like I'd have to feel like in every one of those dungeons, I'm equivalent with the other DPS. Otherwise, I wouldn't want it, right? Like if it's like if it's a bunch of people reaching out, they're like, "Oh, Swag, we can help you. Like we can help you do that."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, 99% of the time, like when people reach out, like, "Hey, like I'd love to help you with your goals." I'm all for it, right? Like I think WoW's an MMO,
I'll
right?
take you on this plus 20.
Right. The best gear you can get in WoW is a good group, right? Like hands down, happily do it, right? I want the camaraderie. With that said, I think a goal like that would be specifically for the purpose of proving I learned how to do that thing well. It's not just I'm proving to myself I can get it, but like proving to myself I did that well, right? Like I kept up with the other DPS. So that would have to be something that like I couldn't. Like I don't know. I just in my head I'm like I couldn't just run with a bunch of people that I know are like hard carrying, right? I can't be running. I'm like, yeah, dude, the tank's doing more to me, but who cares? I got it. You know, like I have to. I want to be middle of the pack, right? Maybe top of the pack, but probably not. Middle of the pack, you know? I don't know. Sorry. Kind of a little random.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, a carry is a carry at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't deserve a carry if I got carried.
That's true.
That's why, like, the KSL last season, like, I DPS'd a lot of the end keys just because we had, like, a group and someone already was, like... Someone preferred tanking, so I was like, I'm not going to, like... You know, I'm a decent DPS, but like most of those dungeons, like I felt like I was keeping up on the DPS, if not like better.
Yeah, I think you're a very strong. I mean, if I were to give my opinion, I actually think you're a better DPS than you are a tank. I think you're more comfortable. I think you're more comfortable DPS or tanking right now, just because that's kind of what you've had to do just to get into dungeons and like get into the content.
Yeah.
But dude, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not like sometimes someone's like, oh, I think you're better at this than this. And it's like their way of putting one of them down. It's like like if someone came up to me and was like, yeah, I think you're like a better guitar player than you are a bass player. Yeah, like obviously, no doubt, right? Like I suck at bass. I'll play bass once in a blue moon, like for a gig or something when I absolutely have to. No one else can. I don't even own one, right? So whenever I play, I like go either borrow one or like just practice the bass lines on guitar and then go borrow bass for the gig itself. Never works out well. And but in your case, it would be like I'm trying to find like a good another real world example, but you are a good tank, right? Like you're a Keystone Legend quality tank, right? So you're a very solid tank. I just think that like a lot of people miss out on how good of a DPS you are because right now in this season of playing, you have to kind of play that tank role.
Unfortunate.
But you're like actually low key like a pretty. You're like low key one of my favorite DPS to like to run with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and I say unfortunately like, oh, I hate tanking. No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind tanking. I think if I had to choose for raid, I would definitely like no questions down. I'd rather DPS raid. Like there's not any question in my mind that I would rather DPS a raid than tank a raid. No questions down.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, you're probably even like, yeah, I'd rather heal raid than tank raid.
No, raid tanking. Yeah, raid tanking is easy.
Yeah, it's not fun really.
I will say it's different right now because add-ons, right? The add-on changes
Oh, well, that's true.
for
yeah.
sure. But now, like the biggest thing is like now it's just like telling the other tank like, hey, do this, right? I think what's also hard and like you kind of hit a point with tanking for like for raids where like you kind of just get focused in on like, oh well, how high can I put my parse, right? Like how high can I put my parse? Like nothing's gonna kill me, nothing's gonna happen. How can I put my parse? But there is fun too. And sometimes it's self-made. But like when it comes to tanking, I don't want to know too much, right? Like I don't, and it's hard. It's hard because this is a raid conversation. Maybe we can have a little bit of, but when I'm tanking raid, and I've been taking raid with a guy named Kalryu right now. Oh, sorry, you heard some Windows ding for a second there. Accidentally disconnected the device and reconnected it. But yeah. Anyways, that was actually my brain. My brain disconnected for a moment. Had to reconnect. But tanking with a guy named Kalryu. He's actually from the podcast, so he was a podcast listener who got connected with the guild through the podcast. Awesome dude, love him. Right, we've been tanking together, and there's some fun I think sometimes in going into these fights and not knowing every mechanic and how somebody says you should do it right away. Like I'm one to get some practice in. Like I like going in aware, especially like in heroic. Right now we're in normal, and it's a balancing act because on one hand, I want to have the fun of problem solving. Like I like working with Kalryu and being like, all right, how do we handle this? Oh wait, this one gives us a debuff, but this one doesn't give us a debuff. Maybe we can do this and then that, right? And you try some things out, and you figure it out, and it works out. However,
listen and that, yeah.
Right, you're balancing your own fun of problem solving with other people's time, okay? Because at the end of the day, WoW is a game, and I'm there to have fun. But also when I'm at raid, especially at the beginning of a season like this in our guild, there's 29 other adult human beings who have carved out 2.5 hours into their evening who are also trying to have fun. And I have to be careful that I'm not adding an extra 10 pools to the boss fight because I refuse to research the fight, right? And so like it's a balancing act, right? Because I want to respect their time. I don't like here's a good example, right? My wife and I, right, I recently got married back in June, and so we've only had one raid tier after getting married, right? So after getting married, we've only had one raid tier. This is our second raid tier that has started up. I think I'm pretty sure, right? Second raid tier.
Yeah.
and the first raid tier right now it's fine. Right now it's fine. Everything's good. In fact, I actually she was actually well awake working on her WoW housing this past Thursday when we were raiding. Afterwards, I walked in. I was like, "Hey, you ready? We can head to bed now." And she's like, "Oh, cool. Sounds good." Right. But when we first got married, it was just again a big shift of kind of trying to fit our lives together, right? And making that work and finding ways and it was adding stress onto her shoulders for me to be at raid because we have a 1-bedroom apartment and I'm being noisy, and so it's hard for her to fall asleep when I'm clacking away on my I don't even know what I have, like Cherry Browns or something, switches on my keyboard, right? And I'm screaming into the mic because I love screaming into the mic at raid night. And all the fun things, right? And now she's exhausted. She's trying, like, she's asleep and awake and sleeping awake, right? And so we had to kind of like work together to figure out a way to make it more possible, right? She didn't want to take that away from me and be like, "Oh, well, please don't raid anymore." But I also knew it was adding pressure to her. I'm one person out of that 30-person group, right? So it's like, I know when I'm showing up that there are 29 other people there. I know my story. I know, that I'm naturally like navigating this. And right now I think we have a good rhythm, but it took a second. That I'm like, right, like I had to work through that with my wife to carve out that time in a way that was gentle on both of us. 29 other people are probably also doing something. Maybe not all of them. Maybe it's only 18 of them, right? But even still, there's a large number of other adults in that voice call, in the raid team, who are also like, they work hard to make sure. Maybe it's they specifically take those 2 evenings off their schedule availability for work or other things. And so I want to make sure that, I honor and respect the time that they do that. And so that's always like that weird balance of like, how do I kind of show up and because I love problem solving, allow myself to problem solve a little bit at Raid and also still kind of know the fight for the most part and know what I'm supposed to be doing, but not know too much, right? And I think, if I'm honest, dude, I think the add-on thing has kind of low-key kind of helped a lot. Helped a lot.
Interesting.
Not having somebody and I get other people like, well, I hate it. It's the worst. It's terrible. But you know what? Not having something in my ear just going, taunt now, right? All of a sudden, like it actually became like somewhat engaging gameplay because now I'm trying to do what I'm doing, but I'm also constantly keeping an eye on the other tank. I wasn't watching the other tank that much before. I was just like, oh, taunt now, right? And now we're kind of like trying to judge ourselves, right? I always feel bad because we kind of we communicate a lot more as tanks, right? So our raid leader is doing his callouts, and then I'm also like, yo, you ready? He's like, yeah, taunt. I'm like, okay, right, like, and so, but it's fun, dude. I was so excited to be back raiding this past week. I really loved it. I'm excited that there's 2 more bosses coming out this week. It's just good, dude. It just feels good being back in the seat. Yeah, 2 more raid bosses open up this week.
Wait, what? How?
Because we have the Void Spire. We have the Void Spire. Okay. Then we have the Dream Rift, right? And then now I think we have like the March on Quel'Danas or whatever it is. This week.
You guys are doing normal, right?
Yeah, we're in normal right now. Whenever we clear all the bosses in normal, then we will move on to heroic. And for any of our listeners who are interested, by the way, a little plug here. Once our raid team moves on to heroic difficulty, our guild will open up what's called Academy Raid Nights. And those are just like very beginner friendly raid events that we do once, maybe every other week, once every week, depending on the interest. Like early on, it's probably once a week, and then we dial it back later on. But we just do normal difficulty, and it's super new player friendly. So like if you want to learn the fights, if you just want to be in the friendly atmosphere, it's super awesome. So you'll probably hear about that when we make that shift. I'll mention it on the podcast as well. Sorry, I'm hiccuping in the background.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, it sounds like you've had a pretty productive week. I know you're kind of, I call it filibustering as well as getting a little bit into the week. Mm-hmm. Other than raid, and I'll let you give any more thoughts you had on the raid overall in a minute. Was there anything else that you got done this week?
Yeah. So I have a little bit more to do on my shaman because I was trying to get my shaman leveled up to 90 before raid started. I talked about last week on the podcast that I might have to switch back to healing for this raid tier.
Oh, right.
So I was like, I actually like kind of stopped gearing my DK, and I was like, all right, I just got to pound out leveling. Because as soon as I hit 90, then I got to gear up really fast to hit our 230 minimum eye level. And then like as I'm like going through it, my raid leader messages me. He's like, hey, you're good. I found 2 healers that I really trust who are going to jump in and join us. I'm not worried. It'll be a good time. I was like, awesome. Nice. And then I kind of just like sat my healer to the side for a minute.
I'm not going to touch you for a minute.
Yeah. So I want to wrap that up. I have all the delve quests completed sitting on that guy. So I'm just going to push him up to about 89-ish and then turn all those in and see what else I need at the end there. But yeah, he that, or she or whatever that character is, get them leveled up because I'd like to have them ready. And also, again, back to that, like I'm kind of playing them as both Resto and Elemental, which will be fun. And if I can get Elemental done, then maybe next season is Warlock DPS time. We'll find out if that ever happens.
Oh my gosh,
I'll find out. But I think that's every. Oh, dude, you know what else I did a lot of this weekend?
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're
or
this
say. This past week. Let me tell. I need to tell everybody about this. Listen. You probably listen to this podcast and you're thinking to yourself, man, I love the Warband podcast because Swag and Chicken, they're very like introspective on WoW, and they really like break things apart and try to understand what was Blizzard thinking when they did this. Why are they doing this? What's good for the game? What's not? we spend a lot of time dissecting the details of the game. That's what makes the Warband unique. But also, it's nice listening to the Warband because Swag and Chicken, they're just your normal WoW players, right? Like they're not top tier in any category. They're good. They're good middle of the line, or middle of the pack.
I wouldn't even
players.
say. I'd say above average.
Okay, yeah. They're your good old, slightly above
we're not
average.
Well endowed, but like we're above average.
Yeah, my wife says I'm pretty good at WoW. So yeah. So anyways, guess what though? I want you guys to know, if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to know something. That's not true. Swag here, this guy, the guy talking into the mic, dude, I am probably the greatest competitor in the Trial of Style. What is the competition?
Yeah, Trial of Style.
Yeah, the Trial of Style. Dude, I was streaming on Twitch. Link down in the description if you guys ever want to hang out with me. Friday afternoons I stream while I'm home. And dude, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do some Trial Style. I want to do some Trial Style. It's by the way, by the time you listen to this podcast episode, it's gonna be over. So
no, it's not.
You can wait till next. Yeah, it only lasts 7 days.
Yeah, until the 27th.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It started the 20th.
You're right, because it was Friday to Friday, and I did it on Friday. Yeah, I did it on the first day of it. That's why. Never mind.
I was gonna say.
You're good. My data is wrong. My information is wrong.
Now you got something to look forward to.
Anyways, I'm doing Trial Style, and on stream, I won. I came in first place on every Trial Style competition I did, except for 2. And on the 2 that I didn't come in first place, I came in second place. I like to think I'm pretty goated at styling or trialing, one or the other, maybe both.
Both, yeah.
Liquid, trial me out for your raid team, please. But the what was really funny, what really got me when I was doing it, is I signed up for the first one, right? So for the first one, I got into a bug when I loaded into the competition. It wouldn't let me transmog my gear, and I don't know why. There is a Trial Style transmog layer that you have now. Or like preset or whatever. And so every time I've done it now, I just make sure that one's my active one, and I haven't had issues. But this first time I did it, I had an issue, and it wasn't letting me transmog at all in the competition. And so I could not change my mog. And it was just my like generic swag DK mog that I use all the time. And for those who haven't seen it, it's pretty iconic. When I change it, my guildmates get upset with me. But it's just a night elf, a male night elf with like gray hair, like an undercut haircut, like a little hipster mustache, some glasses, and then no shirt, like no top, no shoulders, anything, or cape. And I just have like brown pants on with a belt and some like metal boots and a shovel. My weapon is a shovel, just a normal, not even the cool like War Within shovels. I'm talking like just a classic looking shovel, just old school, like 4 polygons shovel. And that's my mog. That's an iconic mog. I've been rocking it since Shadowlands. I haven't changed it.
It's pretty iconic.
It's pretty iconic, right? And I think it has like a wristwatch on it that I got during the War Within or Dragonflight or something. But anyways, it's a cool mog. So I can't change my mog. I'm like, dang, I'm going to lose. Like my first competition, I'm already losing because I can't change my mog. Turns out I won. First competition was in my default mog, made no adjustments, came in first place. Now, you're probably thinking, Swag, what kind of theming did you win? I don't think you need to know that. I don't think you have to know that. It was the Make Me Laugh category. So, I don't know how I feel about that I won that category in my normal default everyday transmog.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is.
First place, baby.
I won first place, got like 50 tokens or whatever to go buy stuff from the transmog vendor. And they have a bunch of, win is a win. They have a bunch of like new items in there too, including another one of those chain keenies for any of our listeners who are interested in that. Yeah, yep. But Chicken, dude, what have you been up to this week?
Yeah, so I finally was able to get into a lot of endgame content.
Yeah.
Leveled up my prey stuff, leveled up some of my renown, got my tier 8 delves up and running. I didn't go any further than tier 8. I was like, I'll I'll get tier 9, 10, 11 at some point. Like, I'm not worried about doing it right now.
Yeah.
So I got to tier 8, did some 8s. Actually got my treasure map. So I got my piece of heroic gear for the week from Delves, which is pretty good. Sitting at a fancy, 245, I think, which is pretty good, right?
That's not bad at all, dude. You might be better than me, to be honest.
So, granted, I went and used like all my crests outside of like my hero crests because I was like, I'm never gonna use these like adventure and like veteran quests or crests. So I was like, I'm just gonna use them now.
That's probably smart. I should probably do the same thing, to be honest.
And it's like, dude, like I'm telling you right now, like I don't care that I have to spend gold to upgrade my gear. It's so much better than using Valor Stone.
Oh my god, it's not even a lot of gold, dude. It's like nothing.
No, it's like maybe. I think I might have spent like 200 gold upgrading like all my stuff.
Like what do you think? What do you think you're gonna spend across the season? Like 2,000 gold, maybe.
Like maybe 2,000. Yeah, dude, 2,000 gold's nothing. I literally spend that like weekly on like pots. Like literally.
Hey, we don't talk about drugs on this podcast.
Oh, potions.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, you literally spend that in like, dude, I've spent more than 2,000 on like friggin' piece of decor.
That's true, dude. I've spent stupid money on decor, actually. Money I definitely should not have spent on decor.
Exactly. So, dude, like 2,000 gold over a course of a season is literally like nothing.
No, that's awesome.
So, yeah, I got my vault all loaded up with some good hero pieces. So hopefully I get one that I need, which won't be hard as long as I don't get some hands. Just got some other little things. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh. Got some other little things, and you know me, I had to do one mythic dungeon, and I guess you can pick the one that I chose.
The Pit of Sauron.
No, obviously not. I did one M0.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's a no-brainer, dude. It used to be your favorite dungeon ever.
Yeah.
Skyreach?
No, stop it. Although Skyreach, I'm kind of excited to do because I've only ever done it in what's it called? In Time Walking. I'm always like, oh, this would be like a cool dungeon maybe to do at some point.
By the way, for our listeners, it's Algathar Academy. That's the one that Chicken loves. He was so sad when that came out of rotation. Dude, they made some changes. They did make some changes.
That's good.
I'm curious to see how the bird fight will go in like higher keys. Because they changed.
Yeah, I don't know the changes they made to it, and maybe it makes sense, but like people were throwing the balls like right away, and I was like, okay, you guys are noobs. Like this is
you're the noob. You're the noob. That's the problem, dude. You're the noob. So I get in there, right? I've run it twice. The first time I ran it, everybody threw the balls right away, and I was like, what are you guys doing? Are you stupid? Yeah. Right? Because historically in that dungeon, you hold the balls until you have like 3 stacks of the debuff. And
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, and then you toss it, right? However, this time it's not about the debuff. The boss just starts doing this like AoE nonstop attack until like one of the goals goes off, and then they finally stop. Yeah, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, don't throw him, hold it, don't do it until we have 3 stacks. And then all of a sudden we're like dying. One dude's dead, and I'm like trying to type as fast as I can. Never mind, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Throw the balls.
Oh my god.
And I like apologize profusely afterwards. I'm really sorry, guys. They changed the mechanic. Good
thing I didn't roast these guys, because I was literally gonna get in chat and be like, listen, you guys are trash. Don't ever do that in M+.
Never do that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't do that.
It's a different mechanic now, which is interesting.
I mean, that makes sense though, because that mechanic definitely did not function as Blizz intended.
No. But also, I suspect it's going to make it a little bit harder on that fight, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about dungeons that were well-loved, and then Blizzard brings it back, and they're like, okay, yes, but we need to make it a little more difficult, because you guys had too easy of a time last time. It's like, no, Blizzard, that's why we liked it. We liked pulling every mob. Right, like, we liked pulling every mob before the first boss, right? Like, we liked being able to hold as many of these stacks as we possibly could, right? Like, I don't know, sometimes sometimes I want Blizzard to know that like it's okay if something's fun. Like it's okay.
You've hurt us, Blizzard.
Yeah. And the problem was like
agree.
if this had just come out for the first time ever, I'd be like, oh, this dungeon slaps, right? Like I wouldn't think about it. But
yeah.
But then you get comparative with it. I felt bad, by the way. Maybe I talked about it last time on the podcast, but when I did it, the healer we were with kept asking me to slow down. He was, or he'd be like, too big, because I like pulled too much. And I actually kind of was doing smaller pulls. Like I wasn't doing the crazy pulls I would normally do for an M0, right? Like I was toned back. But I also felt like it was one of those cases where as a tank, my job isn't just to be aware of what I can handle. It's also to be aware of what our healer can handle, right? Like my job is like, okay, I know what this healer is capable of. I don't want to over push them. I don't want to overexert, right? Like I want them to be good. A little scared, but good. And it was definitely one of those cases where he was definitely a lot of scared, but we weren't having any problems. Like he was having no issue healing people. And so I was like, it's okay. You're going to be fine. Sometimes if I can tell they're kind of struggling, I will slow down. But in this case, he absolutely was not having a hard time. I think it just scared him a little bit. And I was going to like whisper him. As soon as we were done, I was going to whisper and be like, hey, you did a great job. Awesome. Like, proud of you. But then he logged out the second the dungeon was over. Like, I'm like mid.
Because he was like, this guy's.
Yeah, I'm like I finished typing and I hit enter and it goes, such and such player is offline. I'm like, oh no. I was trying to tell him you did a good job. Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, so you did some Algathar. Yeah. Anything else this week that's been on like your plate for a while?
Not really. Just did a couple little things. Did some prey.
Nice.
Yeah, I really haven't done too much. I mean, outside of like the normal stuff, just trying to get as much done and ready for Vault for actual M0 start. That way we can kind of hit the ground running, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I originally was gonna take some time off work next week. And I was gonna just take off and do my thing, right? Like a new season comes out and it's like, okay, I'm home. I'm gonna slam some keys. However, it just wasn't gonna work out. Next week isn't a great week for that, for me to take off work. So I'm gonna try and like just do it in the evenings. But also one thing I found too is like when I take off work to go slam keys, all the people I love doing keys with are still at work. So then I'm just like pugging.
Just doing like pugging, yeah.
Right. And then what happens is like everybody then gets home and they're ready to run keys, but I've been running like 6s, right? And they're ready to jump into 2s. And so then they just group up with other people that wanted to do 2s, and all of a sudden now they're running 8s next thing I know, and I'm still in 6s. I'm like, oh dang, I should have just grouped up. So I'll figure that out for next week. But I'm excited, dude. I love M+. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. I can't wait for I feel like it's been forever since like M+ felt like it was like super important or meaningful, and so I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of hyped to get back into it.
Yeah.
And sorry if you hear a screaming kid in the background. My son is pretty sick right now, and he is not having a great time. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back in the fray of M+ and just kind of doing my best. Dude, I'm definitely not gonna wait as long to get Keystone Legend though. Like I can't do that.
You gotta hit it right away. Well, I'll keep trying to gear up my shaman so that way you have a healer. I keep you alive.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I was pretty good on the last season. I can do it.
And I definitely need to level up some other characters too. So we'll see. It'll
Have you figured out what your secondary is this season?
Oh, I definitely have to level up my monk at some point. That'll be my first, because I think I'm gonna play monk next season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain, actually.
Dude, monk is fun. Monk is fun. I'm back and forth right now. Obviously, my shaman, I'm gearing up, and that might just be that. It might just be my DK, my shaman. However, when I do tank a season, I mean, you know me. Once I know the routes, once I've learned the routes and learned the pools and everything, at that point, I might like. I like having other tanks, right? Like it's just fun. It's fun to go back into those lower keys and relearn again and learn through different abilities. Right? I like learning how to play the class more than I like learning the route. Right? And so I'm trying to I keep going back and forth, part of me, I mean, I've done Brewmaster in the past, and I love that. And I've done Prot Paladin in the past a lot, and I always do well with that. So part of me kind of wants to do Prot Paladin again, especially because, like, just dude, thematically right now, Paladin, especially if I play like a Blood Elf Paladin, Paladin just feels so like thematically relatable to the expansion. And so that's kind of cool. Sometimes I like that. Like, I want to walk around Silver Moon in like Silver Moon armor, you know? Like, I don't know, that feels, I know it doesn't matter to you, but to me, feels kind of cool. However, there's also a part of me that's kind of curious about playing Bear Tank a little bit. I don't know. Bear Tank just seems like it could actually be a lot of fun, and so I'm looking into it.
Don't play Bear. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But
I could see you low key. I could see you doing like some what's it called? Some like some
Death Knight?
meta. Or no, some Demon Hunter. Maybe messing with the Devourer. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a tank, but I can figure it out.
Oh, but you would off tank, like tank to maybe get like good at the class and then switch. I don't know,
dude. I've never really pushed hard on Demon Hunter tank. It's the one tank I've never really like done anything with, and maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to. I don't know why I've never done anything with it. I usually have one leveled up. I'll usually level one up, and then it just kind of sits there.
Yeah, it just sits there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I think I've only ever seen you play Demon Hunter tank like one time.
Yeah. I
think I've only ever seen you play Warrior tank like twice.
That's true. Yeah, I don't do a lot with Warrior tank either. I play Warrior and they go, I'll play Paladin every time.
Honestly, like, that's I'll play fair.
But no, Warrior's cool. Warrior's a really cool class.
I'll play Paladin.
I like the vibe of Warrior a lot. It's really fun. Yo, so Chicken, what's been like? Obviously, it's a new expansion, tons happening, but even still, like lots of updates. What's been happening like in the news front of WoW?
Well, obviously Raid came out, and I wanted to get your hot take on your opinions of Raid, and we'll go through that in just a minute. But yeah, there's been a couple things. I think the biggest news that's come out is the Delves Hall of Fame is now closed for North America. It was closed, I believe, on Monday. I'll have to get the exact date. Did you do the single question mark?
Yeah, that was easy. Yeah, that was easy.
Did you try double question mark?
No, I hadn't pushed my delve up to an 11, so I just never did it. I was going to, like, after I did the single question mark, I was like, oh, this is easy. I'll go do the double question mark. But then I never pushed my delve up high enough, so I couldn't do it. I think I've only done
does it have to be? You have to have tier 11 delves to get to the double question mark. See, I didn't know that. I did the single question mark, and again, I think it took me twice. Like the first time, it was like, not really.
Dude, honestly,
not really
the first time I just didn't realize I was supposed to be interrupting that spell, and he killed me like with like 10% health left. I was like, dang it.
I didn't know you were supposed to interrupt that spell either.
Yeah, it saves you a lot of health.
Interesting.
Unless Valera was kicking it for you, which is very possible.
She might have been kicking it every once in a while, not every time.
She kicks a lot, dude. I will say I will say her damage output is kind of doo-doo, and that might be partly because of just the level I have her out. But I also feel like it just kind of is. But her like support stuff is like great. Like she interrupts all the time.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah, so it was 14 hours after the season dropped that the Hall of Fame was closed. So technically, it was Wednesday morning, like early Wednesday morning. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that 4,000 people were able to beat double question mark and get it in.
Especially with like where gear is at right now and stuff. That's impressive.
Yeah, like that's kind of crazy. And like, don't get me wrong, like it was no like Kai'Veza, or not Kai'Veza. Is it Kai'Veza?
Yeah.
No. Or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm just a bonehead. Yeah, like it's no like
Princess Kai'Veza,
it's not
right?
that. Like, that fight was rough. Even single question mark, I feel like that fight was kind of like low key a little bit hard.
Mm-hmm.
But like this one just didn't seem like it was, like I one shot at it, and like I definitely was not the gear level I am right now. Or no, sorry, I two shot at it because the first time I had to run and like help my son real quick, so I was like, I'm just gonna die and I'll come back and do it again. Because at that point I was like, okay, like I was maybe, I think he was at like 80 health, and I was like, okay, I can easily do this. And then I came back the second time and I was like, okay, there's some extra stuff in this. It's not like crazy easy, but I was still like, this isn't like bad. So yeah, I'm kind of interested in taking on double question mark. The mount you get is kind of neat, so I figured that's a good reason to do it.
Yeah, it's a cool mount for the double question mark. Did you get the double question mark mount yet?
For this one?
Yeah.
No, I just told you I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you mentioned the mount was cool.
Yeah, I want to. I've only ever done one double question mark. I haven't been able to get them. I didn't get the Kai'Veza one, and for some reason I never did the first one. I guess I just didn't feel like it. I got the Undermine one, so we'll see. It's kind of interesting. We'll see. Anyways, yeah, that was something big to happen. Obviously, Raid came out, and I'd like to know your opinion on just general thoughts on what you thought of Raid. But just
before we move on the Raid, the last thing, the Delve title, 4,000 World's First type
that was
thing.
the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
the Hall of Fame. Dude, I saw again. I love trying to keep a finger on the pulse of like WoW discussions online, right? And dude, the number of people who were just upset, and it wasn't like outrageous like in terms of numbers, but I saw a good handful of people just annoyed that they would have a limit to how many people could get that like title and achievement. And man, can I just say, like, if you're one of those players, get over it. I don't know, man. Like, it's like the classic, like, this is why we can't have nice things, right? I don't know. It's cool, dude. If like, it's cool to have something worth competing for, right? It's just cool to have something worth competing for. And sometimes in WoW, I think people forget, or I think we have a large group of players in WoW that hate the idea of any competition, no matter what, right? And that, like, it's fine. Like, it's fine if you don't like competition. You just get a title for it. That's it. Like, all you get is a title. And
it's not a huge deal.
And you probably have, like, it's not even, like, the coolest title you've ever seen, right? I don't know. It's just, like, I don't know, man. And people are complaining, and they probably have 30 titles in their title list anyways that they can choose from. And they're never going to use that title, but just the idea that they can't get it now, I think makes them angry.
Dude.
Rather than just being like, wow, how cool is it that those players like pushed hard and did that? Like, that's cool, dude. Like, they pushed hard. Like, I'm waiting for keys to come out next week to push, and those guys were pushing this week.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's weird.
My opinion, title could be removed tomorrow, and I could care. I could care less.
Yeah. Titles could be removed from
honestly,
the game.
Like, I think I've changed my title like maybe like 3 times in the course of playing WoW over like the last
Yeah, mine's just set to like Jenkins,
years?
I think.
Wait, what'd you say?
Mine is always either set to like Jenkins or Bloodsail Admiral, and I just leave it as one of those two on all my characters.
Yeah, like I just don't like.
Yeah.
I think I've changed it once because I was like, oh, this one's kind of neat, and then I just like never changed it again.
Dude, my wife
recently.
Yeah, my wife really loves the Definitely Not a Cultist title though from pre-patch. That was a good one. That was a good title.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The comedic titles.
How'd you get that one?
If you just did the pre-patch stuff, before the expansion came out. Yeah, did you ever do that? Like the go to Twilight Highlands? You probably have the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Definitely Not a Cultist. It's a funny title.
Yeah. I'm rocking the real deal. It's the one that you got for doing the Kingpin.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Like the double question mark. I think that's what I've been rocking since then because I was like, oh, this one's kind of neat. Like, I'll do this one. And then, like, before that, I'm pretty sure I was rocking, like, the one you got for doing Mythic Siege of Orgrimmar on Mop Remix. Like, dude, I, like, rarely ever change them.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just one of those things where like I just don't get. I don't get the point of being upset about it, right? And
No,
I feel like, and it's such a, again, it's a conversation across the board in WoW. I think it affects every area of content in WoW. But like you could have 98% of the players love something that comes out, and then there's gonna be like 2% who are just so vocally against it that like it sours the whole thing. Have you ever heard of like the new Coke problem?
The new Coke problem.
So like, yes, yeah, okay. So you know, our older listeners will probably remember this more vividly. I don't even think I was born yet, or maybe I was. I don't know. But anyways, Coke had come out with a new recipe. It was called New Coke, right? It was gonna be the new flavor for Coca-Cola.
Sure.
And as I'm bringing up, some people are probably already thinking, listen to it's like, oh, I hated it. It was the worst, right? Now, here's the fascinating thing about New Coke, right? The fascinating thing about New Coke was in their testing, all their testing they did with like blind audiences, 9 out of 10 preferred New Coke over the old Coke flavor. However, the 10% of people who did not prefer the new Coke flavor were extremely vocal about not preferring the new Coke flavor. Okay, so just to kind of put that in comparison, 90% preferred it, 10% didn't. But those 10% that didn't were more vocal, right?
And more like, that sucks.
And what people have found after going back and like looking over everything related to New Coke when it launched, that misunderstanding of that 10% is actually often attributed to being the worst factor for the New Coke thing, more than like anything else, more than the actual flavor itself, right? The flavor could have been anything. What actually ended up happening was when New Coke launched, people at first were like, "Oh yeah, nice, cool, like this is nice, like this is a nice update, right?" The 10% though were so vocal against it that it actually like convinced everybody, "Oh wait, we hate this," right? And like very quickly just shifted because people were so vocal about how much they hate it. Like if you like Coke and all of a sudden New Coke comes out and you don't, and you're part of that 10% that doesn't like it, boom, that's the end of the world. Everybody needs to know. And sometimes I feel like WoW stuff is like that, where like, right, like,
dude, WoW stuff is 100% like that.
Right, something comes out and it's cool and like everybody gets to enjoy it, but there's that like 10% that are just like, I hate this, and the whole world needs to know I hate this, and you should hate it too. And man, it's just, again, it's like that conversation, right? It's like always like the FOMO thing of like FOMO shouldn't exist in WoW. FOMO, it's this idea of like everybody should be able to get everything all the time in World of Warcraft. And I think sometimes what makes an MMO fun, if you want that, go play a single player game. I mean, that's what I have to tell you. Go play a single player game.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just like, dude, I love playing like baseball, but there's a reason why I'm not in the MLB. I'm not that good. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to bash on people that aren't good at WoW. It's just like you probably don't have the time to put into it as other people do, right?
And that's fine. But you know what though?
Yeah.
But what's hard though is like, I think what I run into is this like, people just can't be happy for others. Right? It can't be like, whoa, dude, you've worked really hard and you got that cool thing. That's awesome, right? It's just like, oh, I'll never get this, and now my mount ticker won't go up by one more, right? And my add-on will forever tell me that I don't have 100% of all the mounts in the game ever. And I just, dude, I don't know, man. I've ranted about before. It's not worth me ranting about all that much, but dude, just be happy for other people. It's a cool thing that they had that. I think they should do it again. If you ask me, they should do it every season, having that push for that boss. I
don't think it hurts the game. No, like, honestly.
It does not hurt the game. No, dude. Somebody worked hard. They achieved what they got, right? It's cool.
Yeah,
like,
let them. Yeah, let them be.
Let them be, right? If Blizzard found that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they upped the number. If they're like, oh, wow, more people tried to do this than we realized. Let's up it to, like, 6,000. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was originally 10,000, but then they made it 4,000 for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they know their numbers on how many players are actually killing that boss. So what you don't want to do, if it's like, oh, wow, every season 15,000 people killed this boss, let's make it 10,000. Well, then, like, what's the achievement of being in the 2/3, right? Like,
yeah, then you might as well just let everyone have
at that point,
it,
just let everybody have it, right? But if it's like, yeah, the first like 10% of people who do this get this, okay, that's cool, brother, cool, like awesome, like good job, guys. Like when I see that title means something, right? And sometimes that's the truth too, right? Like for something to mean something, and now some people are like, well, it means something to me because I like that arrangement of letters and words, right? And okay, cool. But sometimes something has value because it is prestigious, right? And I think prestigious things are cool sometimes. And not even for me to be the one standing around with the prestigious thing. I like walking past somebody. It makes the world seem bigger, right? Like you walk past somebody, you're like, whoa.
Yo.
Dude, right? Like,
dude, how'd you get that?
Right? Like, because sometimes it's an NPC. Sometimes you walk by an NPC and you're like, yo, that's Thrall. Wow, dude, he's a hero.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a player like, whoa, that's the cutting edge mount. Dang. Right? Like, I don't know. It's just a cool moment where you get to kind of see those things and you get excited. And
now I know you
it's
can
unique,
buy cutting edge.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could buy the cutting edge mount if you really want to. But
You
then I
can't
walk by and go,
buy-
wow, dude, that guy's got a lot of gold.
You can't buy the tier 2 Hall of Fame delves.
No, that's true. That's true. You can't.
Actually, yeah, you can't. It's kind of sad, but you can actually buy it.
You can? No, you can't.
No, you can't. Like, you can't actually buy it.
Yeah. All right,
Or,
what
like,
else?
you can
What else? You were going to talk
basically buy
about
it.
something with like raid or delves or dungeons or something?
Yeah, so we can cover the rest of what I have for news, and then you can talk about raid. Just because I do want to hear what your thoughts are on the raid this tier, and your continued thoughts on our actual raid group and what you think the progress you'll make this tier. So just like two quick things, and this will kind of end the WoW segment or the news segment of the podcast. So there is an update to the prey system that makes it easier to get the nightmare level raids.
Oh, nice.
Or nightmare level praise. So like before it was like super slow to get to rank like renown 4 or whatever, track 4, tier 4 for the prey renown, but now it's like a lot easier. I think it's not like easy like they'll give it to you, but I think you only have to do maybe like 10 praise and you get it, if not less. So that's like a big upgrade, because before I thought you had to do like close to like 20, if not more, before you could get the nightmare. And that's what people want, because nightmare gives you the champion gear, even though once like Mythic Plus comes out, like people probably won't care anymore.
Yeah.
So I think they missed the ball on that. Like they should have had it like last week. That way people had another way of getting champion gear. But you could only get like so much. So that is sense. Like cool, but I feel like people aren't going to really care about it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. It makes more sense for players to have been involved in content these past couple weeks. I mean, that's what these past couple weeks are for, right? Involved in content that they normally wouldn't do. And by the way, I'm sure there's others who are out there like, dude, I literally just don't play the game until N Plus comes out. Yeah. For you, that's fine. For me, though, I am a little goblin driven by whatever loot I can get from things, right? And so oftentimes when M Plus and raids are out, I don't really do other content because the M Plus and raids give me better gear for equal amounts of time, right? With that said, I really enjoy this part of a season when, and especially an expansion launch, when all these systems are new and I get to take part in them and feel like I'm doing them because I'm also being rewarded and not just doing it just to do it, right? Like, I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm having fun doing it. But also, by doing it, I don't feel like I'm missing out, right? I'm not like, I did this, but if I had done the dungeon, I would have gotten more, right? Like, I'm like, oh, cool. I get to experience it and get the reward. And so that's cool. I will always be a fan of these, like, 2-week kind of lulls before content really starts.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. The only other major news thing is it revolves around the Pinterest.
The Pinterest thing,
the collaboration. So there was like this UK scavenger hunt. I don't know if you knew anything about that. I didn't know much about it. But apparently all the rewards.
There's like 3
like
decor items you can get from it.
So as of now, I just checked. It's still kind of like down. I guess once everything got updated, it kind of got fixed. but now it's currently down. Or once the news got out that anyone could get the decor, the site went down because everyone's just like, oh, I'm gonna redeem it. So
yeah, I think it overloaded their system. I don't know why they didn't think it was going to work that way. I don't know why. Like, it's because it's just everybody uses the exact same code as like the answer. Yeah. I don't know why anybody thought, oh yeah, players can go do this and not share the code.
Yeah. So yeah, as of right now, you can. The site is down, but you can still do it if the site comes back up. So I don't know if they're gonna fix that and basically be like, yeah, never mind, you can't do this anymore. Which kind of sucks because the decor is kind of sweet.
Decor's cool. I saw a comment on there. So the decor you can get is a basketball hoop, which is sick.
like a Nerf style like basketball hoop.
Yeah, the basketball hoop. You can get a bird cage, I think, with like a little bird in it.
Yep.
And then you can get like a rose on like a stand.
Like a pedestal rose. Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny though is like I'm on the Wowhead article because I was reading the comments to see if anybody was like, oh, it's working again. And it looks like at some point yesterday morning, as of this recording, it was working, but then maybe it's like down now. But again, back to that, like talking about WoW players just being upset about everything and being very vocal about it, right? I'm like reading a comment from one dude who's like angry that one of the decor items is a basketball hoop. And he's like,
wait, what?
Yeah. And he's like there's not a single reference of any kind that anyone in WoW would even know what basketball is. And he's like, read the room, Blizzard. And it's like, what, dude?
Whoa.
Are you, bro? Are you reading the room? I could probably list off easily right now without taking a breath. I could probably list off like 20 people who would happily put that in their player housing.
Oh,
like
me.
Like, dude, me. Yeah. Everyone, bro. Who doesn't want a basketball hoop somewhere in their player housing? And it's just like, man, can we just let the player housing be fun just for the sake of fun? I don't care. I don't care about the lore. Let my house just be my house, bro.
Yeah, right. Just let me have it.
And you know what, Blizzard? Please add a basketball mini game in next season just to make this guy more upset. Now, to be fair, his name says Gadrin the Hunter, to put him on blast real quick. And so, listen, I mean, he is a hunter. What like, I don't know if I should expect more from him. So, it is what it is. But I don't know, man. I just don't get why some of these players are just so bitter. Like, over the dumbest things.
What can you do, right?
Like, Blizzard trying to give us a basketball hoop as a prize for a Pinterest scavenger hunt in London. Like, dude, it's not like you're getting this. It's not like you're getting this for getting your reputation with the Horde to 99999, right? It's like, no, dude, it's just from a Pinterest scavenger hunt. Calm down.
Yeah. This is just like the start because low-key I'm hoping that like the little trinkets that you can mess around that are in the Arcantina are eventually going to come as like, oh, hey, you can put this like little fidget toy in like your room. As house decor,
all the little like mini games, right?
Yeah, like low key, I really hope those end up coming as decor.
That would be sick.
And like people will not be happy with that. Like, oh, since when can we have like video games inside our video games? Like, okay.
Yeah, like, luckily, I think all of those have been things we've had to interact with in the past for questing
they are.
and past stuff. So the nice thing is like
it's all just like puzzles.
Yeah, there's precedence for it all. But yeah, it is. I don't know, man, dude. I don't think I'll ever understand.
I will. Yeah, no, never. Some people just like to complain, you know, dude, like us. Sometimes we complain.
Dude, I think though, again, what we try to do is like just really think about the process of like, why is this happening?
Like, analyze it.
Yeah, we analyze. And I think that's. And I think that's like healthy, right? Like it's healthy because there are times too I look at something where I'm like, why would they do this? And I really think about it, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I get it. Like there's been times on the podcast where halfway through I'm saying, I'm like, oh, never mind. I just explained it as I'm verbally processing. I figured it out. Never mind. Totally understand, Blizzard. I get it. Move on, right? Like, you know. But yeah, I just feel like people want to be angry, right? It's like, dude, listen, I can't be angry if I'm going to play this game this much, right? Like, this is a video game. If I'm going to be angry about every 3 things they add, then I should probably just go play a different video game.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is most of the news. I'm excited to hear about...
Oh, there was one more I saw, by the way. Decor related. For our decor people who are hanging out in the chat, you've probably been thinking lately. You've probably been thinking to yourself lately, like, Swag, look, I love that we've been getting all these like little plushies. There's some plushies you can get in the game. There are the Murloc plushies you could get as well. Well, guess what? Guess what?
No.
Yeah, that's right. There's another Murloc plushie coming out, a Void-inspired purple. Void. They call it the Cuddly Void Gurgle housing decor item, and you can get that through. I believe it's Twitch drops starting.
Oh, right.
Yeah, dude, Twitch drops starting on Thursday. I'll be live. I'll be live on Friday, so come hang out with me on Twitch, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Tuesday.
Starts on the 26th.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So come hang out with me this Friday. Usually it's about 4 hours of watch time they have to do, but get the bulk of your hours, hang out with me on stream and chatting about whatever. One thing I love about my live streams, and it's a little self-promo here, and I apologize, but one thing I love about my live streams is a chance for me. These conversations that Chicken and I have is a chance for me to have them with you, right? Like, obviously, it's a little one way because I'm just getting the written word from you, and then I'm verbalizing back. But it's fun. Like, dude, we have this podcast because we like talking about WoW, and these conversations don't have to be limited only to the podcast. Sometimes people come in and are like, "Oh, maybe this is a question for the podcast." I'm like, "Nah, dude, just ask it here." And oftentimes, too, those conversations end up coming onto the podcast because then my brain's on them, and I've now thought about them for a couple days before we record. So it makes it more fun. But yeah, so anyways, all to say, come hang out with me on Twitch. There's a new drop starting this
I meant to put
Thursday.
that on our show notes, but I missed it.
Awesome.
Ripperoni. Anyways.
All right. Dude. With that said, it is time for our listener questions. But before your listener questions, as always, we got to hit on a couple things we want to just mention to you, namely our Patreon account. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It really is. What you guys do for us on Patreon is huge. It helps us keep this podcast up and alive. Chicken and I are actually about to make some changes to how our podcast is presented on YouTube, which has been something that we've kind of neglected in the past, and are now working on bringing some update to that and future updates to it. And the Patreon support is a huge help of being able to get this podcast out to more eyes, paying for the hosting space, and so much more. So we just want to say thank you to everybody who's on our Patreon. It is a huge help. Our next Patreon live recording, so that's a recording of the podcast for our Patreon supporters, is coming up in a couple weeks. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you're a part of our Patreon. We'll be recording with a special guest. I can't spoil it, but we're pretty excited to have her on the podcast for that episode. It's going to be really awesome. Spoilers. But anyways,
reference a girl. Girls don't play WoW. Oh, sorry.
You know what they do actually, Chicken? That is deeply offensive that you would say that. However, you're safe because according to our analytics, girls don't listen to this podcast. So you are.
Oh my gosh.
But moving on to just the other thing I want to mention is our guild. If you guys are looking for a guild, we want to encourage you to check out Astra. It's a guild on Storm Rage server, kind of focused primarily on just social and community interactions, kind of creating a space for everybody to be a part of. But we do run M+, we do raid. As I mentioned earlier in the podcast, we even have a learners raid event that's going to be starting back up again in likely 2 weeks. And so if you're looking for a guild, you can check out the Warband's Discord. There's a link down in the description. And in there is a channel called Join Astra. Go read the instructions there on how to get more information about our guild. And if you're looking for a neighborhood for your characters to hang out and place their homes down in, the podcast neighborhood, the Warband podcast neighborhood, still has about 20 plots left if anybody wants to come join. There's also a channel on our Discord for that. With that said, that is everything you need to know. So we are going to go into this week's listener question. We only have one question for the podcast this week, and it is actually from Chicken.
Oh my gosh. The segue king. Just kidding. Well, that was a pretty good segment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any questions. Right.
Oh, you did. I thought you had a question for me, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, so this is a question from Chicken. His question is this question's mostly for Swag, he says. Swag, we know that you are tanking raid for your guild. What is your primary thoughts on this tier's raid, and how do you think the guild will progress with said raid?
Yes. Chicken, thank you for sending your question into the podcast.
Yeah.
It means a lot that you would do that. For anybody who's listening and also wants to send their questions in, link to the Discord down in the description. Hop into the Pod Questions channel and throw your questions in there. We would love to answer your questions on the podcast. We forgot to ask last week, so we didn't have any real questions this week. But throw your questions in there, especially with Midnight. Ask us all the questions about Midnight gameplay, lore, whatever. We just want to talk with you and answer your questions. But Chicken, how am I feeling about raid this season? You know, a couple feelings. One, things feel a little disjointed having 3 different raid instances and just like knowing like, well, where do I start, right? Like, where do I begin? Do I begin in Dream Rift? Do I begin in Voidspire? Probably not March on Quel'Danos, right? Like, that'd be weird. And so it's kind of figuring that out. But I don't think that's really a problem. I think it bothers me more because I just don't know what I'm watching with Race to World first now. I need to figure that out. But in terms of like my personal experience, dude, I'm having a blast. The fights are fun. The fights are really fun, and they've been super enjoyable. So I don't know if I have any complaints. I don't think I have, especially as like a tank. I don't really have any complaints. It's been fun. A lot of purple on purple, and historically, when I hear that, where it's like, oh, it's a lot of the same color on top of the same color. I'm just like, dude, it's not that hard, right? Like, but I don't know why. This is the first raid tier where I feel like there have been a couple fights where I've actually struggled to see what was going on. And I'm not sure if it's because it is, again, a lot of purple bluish attacks on a purple bluish background, right? Or to be fair, my UI is very different looking right now with all the recent changes and some other personal stuff that I made changes to this season. And so there was a bit on some of the fights where I think it's just my eyes getting used to looking at the correct spaces for the information that I need. And I think that's also just confusing me a little bit because you kind of get used to like where you would normally look, and now I'm not like looking in those spots, and it's throwing me off. Like, for example, my frame that shows me my enemy's health or what enemy I'm targeting, I've moved that. And so like I'll tab target and I don't see anything pop up where I normally would see something pop up, and I'm like, oh, it didn't work. And I'm like, oh wait, never mind, it's right there. It's in a different spot. So I don't know if it's the design or if it's just an issue I've caused for myself. So I can say that. Vibes have been immaculate though. Raid nights, I've had a blast with everybody, having a good time. I showed up probably one of the lower geared characters for raid on Wednesday night. So like Thursday morning before work, I was like out grinding, trying to get any gear that I could possibly get because I was like, I don't. Yeah. Because it's tough. It's tough when like you're doing it and you look at the logs and you're like, oh, I parsed a 20. Yay. But then you like look at your eye level parse and your eye level parse is like 70. And you're like, okay, what does any of this info even mean? And so I really wanted to kind of push myself up. And then the other thing, I wanted to mention, not necessarily exactly about the raid, but we had mentioned the Vellum Raid Night Study Hall Steam game that's free. Dude, that was great. I played it this week before, I think Tuesday while servers were down. I was off work. So I was playing that as just a way to kind of get some reps in, to practice, to experience it. Yo, it's really good. Like actually, like chat, if you're listening in, do it. Like try it out. It's called Vellum Raid Night Study Hall. It's on Steam for free, and it gives you like explanations of the boss fights, what you want to be doing, what to watch out for, what the different moves are, and how they look. And then you go in there, and as you're doing the fight, different pop-ups occur. that tell you how to handle different mechanics, when you're supposed to kick things, when you're supposed to move to different spots, what you're supposed to do with soaks, and all that stuff. Like, it actually like teaches you all the mechanics for, I think, heroic.
Dang. That's pretty awesome,
dude. It was really good. Like, if you've ever played like the Pineapple game that used to exist, it's kind of like that, but 3D.
But 3D,
and honestly, I think a little bit more informational.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. So that's kind of all my vibes when it comes to raid.
How far do you think the guild will get? Do you think you'll push any mythic? What's your first take on that? Anything?
Dude, I want to push a few. I want to push a few mythic bosses. I think that's fun. I think our goal is always AOTC, but then like to get a few mythic bosses down is a blast. It just depends on the team. If we get to AOTC and we have like a 25-man team, then we'll definitely push mythic. But if we're rocking like a 21-man team at AOTC, we just won't do mythic, because 4 or 5 of those players will only want to do AOTC, and that's fair, right? That's their choice.
Yeah, it is.
And then
that's the goal, right?
Yeah, but then we just end up too far off. I do think this time around we were a little cautious in some of those more critical roles, like the tank healer roles, and focused. I could be wrong, by the way. I wasn't the one that made the choices, but it appeared to be that we focused on trying to pull some players that we knew would want to hang around into Mythic for those roles, so that if we were to lose players, it was like DPS slots that would be easier to fill.
Yeah.
But
because dude, getting someone to Mythic raid on DPS is like, hey, do you want a Mythic raid? And they're like, yeah.
But,
that easy.
But that's everything, dude. I've been having a blast. This expansion's fun. I can't wait to play more Midnight. I don't know. Every expansion, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This one does feel like it has a lot more life, though. It has a lot more life.
It feels really good
than the War Within. Yeah. Awesome.
Thus far, it feels good.
Thus far. All right. Well, here's the deal. Chicken and I, we're gonna go jump off this call and start working on some content for our YouTube listeners of the Warband podcast. So we're really excited about that. Kind of trying to spruce that up and polish it and represent it a bit better. And so, thanks for listening to the podcast, and we'll be with you again next week.
Yes, we will.